I've made many chocolate cakes on this show, but when you've got a very famous chocolatier, Thomas, here, you know the chocolate cake's going to be exceptional. Chocolate cake, it's your specialty.
It is my specialty, and this is what every kid in Europe or in Germany and Switzerland wants for their birthday. So it's like a filled chocolate cake, absolutely stunning. So we need to start and actually making the chocolate cake first.
Okay.
But you can even sort of cheat a little bit and buy a chocolate cake, but I'll show you this really cool chocolate cake as well.
Yes.
So I'll start on melting 2 blocks of chocolate.
Okay, 70%?
70% excellence, really flavours that cake really nicely. Now I'm just going to start by melting 200 grams of excellence 70% chocolate.
Okay, and over a bain-marie?
I do it on a bain-marie, just barely simmering water. You don't want it boiling, that's the only sort of watch out.
Sure.
So I click that in here, gently melt it. In the meantime, might get you started on the cake itself.
Absolutely.
That's okay, please. So very straightforward, unsalted butter, nice and softened. Raw caster sugar. I always like to use raw caster sugar because it has that beautiful sort of caramel note to it as well.
Yeah.
Or you can just use standard sugar as well. That's fine. And then some eggs.
So cracking
straight
the eggs
as
in
well.
now. Okay.
All go in and we whip it up together and then put the chocolate in there as well as we actually go.
I like
Got that
this
ready.
style of chocolate cake where it all just gets done in the one big bowl.
All in one is always good, right?
Very nice. Well, I'll finish cracking these eggs and whip this to perfection.
There we go. Chocolate's all melted and just melted. We don't want it too hot.
Okay.
And then it's ready to go into your whipped mixture there, and then we really aerate it and sort of bring this mixture together.
All right.
Whip it up. Would you like
Shall I
to
do?
pop that in?
Yes, I would love to. Drizzling in all that chocolate.
Wonderful, look at that.
If we wanted to change up the chocolate and use a milk chocolate, could we use it for this recipe?
You certainly could use a milk chocolate. You could even use a flavoured one.
Oh, yeah.
Like a chili chocolate is always a delight.
Ooh, why
or a little bit of mint as well. So, absolutely.
Very nice. Okay, so we're just combining this.
Combining this and really sort of bringing air into it. So this cake hasn't got any sort of baking powder or raising agent in it. So it's
Right.
really just all the air that we whip into it. That is looking really good, nice and light.
Okay. Ooh.
Look at that. Doesn't that look
Fantastic.
luscious? Now we're ready for the dry ingredients with this as well. And we just used the 2 for this. So we actually use almond meal. Really sort of helps to sort of bring that sort of moist texture and sort of give that nutty flavour, of course, as well. But no flour per se in this recipe. So we actually just use a bit of corn flour as well to sort of help to bring it together.
Very nice. I can feel this is going to be quite a rich cake.
Nice and dense, nice and rich. And then you know me, just at the end, I put a little bit of chopped extra chocolate through as well.
So another 70%.
70%, just a couple of chunks, and they will just sort of melt through as the chocolate cake bakes. So it's just a bit of extra richness and extra luxurious sort of chocolate finish.
You taught me to do this, so when I'm making chocolate cake at home, I also add extra chocolate.
Good to know, good to know.
So I'll take that off.
Nice.
Glossy, just right, all well
Beautiful.
combined.
Now I just chop that extra chocolate a little bit. Doesn't need to be too fine, but not huge chunks.
And you're using a serrated knife to cut the chocolate?
I always like to use a serrated knife. I think it actually is much easier to cut through chocolate.
Yeah, it's got like a little extra grip.
Exactly.
All right, so we're going to fold that through. I'm going to place this into a spring-formed tin that's been lined with some baking paper. Thomas, what temperature and how long are we going to cook this for?
This probably needs about 55 minutes
Yes.
at 180 until it's nicely cooked through. Okay, and our cake is ready and cooled already as well. So I'll take that out and we actually build it and fill it on the serving platter.
Right.
Okay, so we'll take that off. Look at that beautiful cake. So, a little chef trick. It actually makes it much easier to take everything off. And then we have a flat surface.
Take that off for you.
Look at that. There we are.
Great.
Now, I might get you started on the filling itself. So we got some softened cream cheese there, pure icing sugar, and then some thickened cream as well.
Okay.
And we whip this up. We whip this together nice and stiff, and that will be the sort of base of the filling.
All right, I'm onto it.
And then I'll show you what I'll do with this. So about maybe 2 centimeters from the edge, I'll just sort of cut around, and then we actually sort of hollow out the chocolate cake or scoop out a couple of centimeters, and we could put the crumbs aside, and we're going to fill or sort of cover our filling with the crumbs in the end.
You've always got this little magic trick that you do with your cakes. It's not just as simple as dressing it with a bit of icing.
Well, you can
Take
do that
it to the
as
next
well.
level.
That's it. It's just, so we just take this cake up a little notch.
Yes, why not? And some cold cream. Just pour that in. 400 mils, did you say?
400, absolutely.
400 mils, okay. And then I'll start mixing that. Cheesecakey chocolate cake along with strawberries.
What's not to love?
And this smells very nice indeed. What have you got there?
Look, I thought we're just going to drizzle a little bit of Grand Marnier in the bottom because we're going to put some beautiful strawberries down the bottom as well. But you can fill this with mixed berries or orange slices or anything that you like.
A really festive cake.
It is.
Maybe I'll request this for my birthday this year.
Good idea. Good idea.
I like all of these flavours combined together. So I'm just going to whisk that.
Okay, nice work. So with the crumbs as well, we're just going to break them up a little bit to make them nice and small.
Okay.
So a little bit of that Grand Marnier just into the cake. So just do a little drizzle.
This is the adult version.
This is the adult version. But you can put anything in here. A little bit of whiskey, if whoever you make
Cointreau,
that. Cointreau,
orange liqueur.
cognac.
I love cognac. Cognac and chocolate, just the best flavours. Yep.
So line the strawberries up in here.
Okay.
Make it as pretty or...
Yeah, you want to
As
take your
you like.
time doing this.
Exactly.
And that's the joy of baking, right?
Yeah.
Just the process of it is enjoyable. You don't need to rush it.
And it's one of those cakes that is for like a special occasion.
Yeah.
So there we go. And then I just, you chopped some of these strawberries as well. So they can actually go into the filling. So if you want to mix that into the filling, as well as a little bit of extra chocolate.
Right, so strawberries, the dark chocolate.
And then we can fold this through.
Oh, yes, that's going to be very tasty indeed.
Wonderful. Look at that. And then we just fill our chocolate cake with this.
Looks like a chocolate swimming pool.
Yeah, we actually want to make like a little mound as well. Because the name, if you actually translate it, it's like a mole. You know the little animals that dig a little hole that live underground. So that's what this is called. So it's like a little mole mound cake, really.
A mole mound cake. That's a tongue twister right there.
Filled chocolate cake sounds pretty good. But with our crumbs, we're just going to cover the top with all our crumbs.
Okay, a little sprinkle.
Sprinkle that on top.
Oh, that looks so good.
So push this on. Then ideally what you would like to do is sort of put this in the fridge for a couple of hours because then the sort of cream and the chocolate cake will sort of melt together a little bit. It starts to firm up a little bit. Why don't you put a little bit of icing sugar on as a little bit of a final touch?
A little bit of snow.
Exactly. Look at that.
That is such an impressive cake. Thomas, this comes to the table, everyone would just assume it's a chocolate cake with some icing on the top. But no, inside is that wonderful surprise of cream with chocolate and strawberries and Grand Marnier, my favourite.
Decadent.
Decadent indeed. Thank you, Thomas.
Pleasure.